welcome back to Papa's Playoffs Podcast, episode number 14. We have a very special episode lined up for everyone, and we have a very special returning guest as well.
How's it going?
Zaculus in the flesh.
Yep. My name is Nick. This is Caleb.
Hello.
Zach's back, and Ethan's here.
Hi there.
Zach, what took you so long
Long for what?
to return? The return of Zach.
Life, man. Busy.
Has it been? You liking your new job?
Yeah, I like it.
I mean, you do the same thing. Well, not really, but
Different side of the coin. Yeah.
He's building cabinets.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
sell
cool stuff.
them.
And he sells them. Man, it's pretty cool.
Well, welcome everybody back. Hopefully all the mics are working. It looks like they are. We're watching them. We're taking that a little more serious this time. No more hiccups. No more hiccups. Come on, guys.
Yeah. I doubt it.
Yeah, true.
Come on, show some optimism, Ethan.
Oh yeah.
Maybe we hide, like you said, Ethan, we hide all the last episodes from public view and we start off with this one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then once we get big, we'll put them back available for the real OGs to go back and listen.
The tier one.
Lost
special
episodes.
content.
The lost episodes.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. So this episode is gonna be really different.
Mhm.
We're not doing a draft.
Oh man.
No, I mean we're still gonna give our facts. Some would say opinions, but they're
Zach
facts.
Obviously. Oh yeah.
Zach facts. If
Basically.
you want to pull up that phone, get it out, get it on.
No, that's the beauty of Zach facts. I don't look up anything.
Oh,
It's
that's
all
true.
from the head.
It's all just off the hip, man.
Actually,
is
it is
true.
because actually Zach, our guest, just learned about the topic about 5 seconds ago. So
Yes, so it will be me shooting from the hip on this one.
yes.
So we've all heard of the Mandela Effect. Mandela Effect.
Yeah.
Mandela.
Ethan, have you heard of it? Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
You do know what it is.
It's like when you think it's real or something and it's not.
Yeah, I mean that's
Essentially.
yeah, pretty much it.
Like the universe has been
Like there was a glitch in the Matrix kind of thing.
They kind of go together.
like the universe has been convinced that something is not the way that it actually is.
So can you guys actually relate to that? Is my first question, I guess.
Yes.
Well, I
Yes.
thought Nelson Mandela was dead.
Oh, so yeah.
I mean, he is dead now.
He wasn't at first.
Right.
So that was you too?
Yeah. I
Well, yeah,
always thought he
that's-
was dead. But when they made that movie about him, he was alive.
He died in like 2012 or 13,
Oh, really?
right? No, I just
No.
mean, but everyone remembers his funeral in like the early 90s, right? Is how this began. He got tuberculosis. So this is what I know about it.
Oh.
He got tuberculosis, and he was a leader
Dang it, Dutch.
in Africa. He was promoting, I think, democracy in Africa, and he ended up becoming the president of South Africa.
He died December 5th, 2013.
Yeah, so it was 2013. Yeah,
Yeah.
but everyone, or not everyone, there's like thousands of people who remember his funeral in the early 90s, I want to say. They like distinctly remember it happening.
Yeah.
He got tuberculosis and died,
Mhm.
but he didn't.
That's how the phrase was actually coined. Someone named Fiona Broom was at I think it's called Dragon Con. I'm not sure, some kind of con. And she was talking with other writers. And while talking to them, a bunch of them, they started talking about Mandela. And many of them believed that, yeah, he had died in prison. And it was early 2000s. And
Why was he in prison?
Because of the way he
For
was.
promoting, or he was advocating. He was a rights advocate, and back then in Africa, like it was
Frowned
just
upon.
a big no.
Yeah. So yeah, that was frowned upon. Yeah, he was arrested, but so that's where she coined the phrase Mandela Effect, and that's how people have found a bunch of different things associated with that as well. One that I feel like has really affected me, the fruit of the loom.
Yes.
I grew up 100% thinking and believing the Fruit of the Loom logo was fruit Coronava cornucopia.
Yeah.
The reason that is because my mom, I had to ask her. I said, "What's that thing in the picture logo of my shirts?" She had to tell me what a cornucopia was. In reality, they say it's never been a part of the logo ever in history. And a lot of people share that sentiment, whereas others believe what I just said. that it definitely did have a cornucopia. But according to them, it's never had it. And it's only ever had fruit, and that's it.
It's pretty weird. I mean,
See, I don't remember it being a cornucopia.
Yeah,
Me
see?
either. I remember it being just the fruit.
So yeah, it's
just fruit and then the words "fruit of the loom."
Yep.
Yeah.
See,
That's what
I am on cornucopia side on that one.
Yeah.
But I can't with 100% certainty say, either one because
What's the other big one? Berenstain Bears?
yes,
Yes.
it
That's
is.
the big
It's
one?
Berenstain
Yeah,
Bears.
Berenstain instead of Berenstain, which is what everyone.
No.
I feel like
I
grew up
remember.
thinking.
I remember it being Berenstain.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Me too.
that is the second biggest one behind the actual death of Nelson Mandela. You looking at Berenstain?
He's looking at
Ethan?
just Mandela Effect
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
Pikachu's
That-
tail.
okay. We're
Curious Jorge.
getting way too ahead of ourselves. Way
Yeah,
too ahead of
yeah.
ourselves. I was gonna say the biggest one for me is if you had asked me to draw Pikachu, I would have drawn him with his tail end as black,
Same here.
Right,
Oh,
because it is.
but it is not.
bro hasn't wiped in weeks.
His entire tail is yellow. There is no black end of Pikachu's tail.
Another big one people have is Jiffy peanut butter. People call it
Curious.
Jiffy. But in
It
reality,
was Jiffy.
it's nope, never been
Alright.
Jiffy. It's only ever been called Jif.
Brother, no. It
Curious Jorge is a big deal, apparently.
It is. Yeah, he doesn't have a tail.
See, I don't remember him having a tail. This
Me
is what's
either.
weird about it
Yeah.
is like I don't think you guys are wrong for thinking or like the cornucopia thing with the fruit of the loom. Like I just don't
Yeah.
remember it being that. But there's ones that I remember, like what's the other one? The Monopoly Man. That's another
Yeah,
one,
that's
right?
a-
Whether
yep.
he has a is it the
So
monocle?
I was gonna ask you guys what, like, you guys are going really fast. I was gonna ask.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
Oh, they're so quick.
They're super.
The realizations make you
Golly.
excited.
Like what you guys remembered versus like to see
Okay.
if we were on the same page or not.
All right, yeah, okay. Ask them.
So we're not on the same page as Fruit of the Loom. We're 50-50 split on that, which is
Right.
crazy, by the way, if you think about it.
Yeah.
50-50. That if you took that percentage of the world, a lot of people.
Mhm.
Pikachu, I was on the black tail end.
Me too.
Same.
Ethan.
I've never watched a
So
single
you
Pokemon
don't
in my
really
life.
so you don't even count. So that's 3 for 3 then.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, the Berenstain Bears.
Berenstain.
I wouldn't have known that one.
I don't get the thing.
I
What's the
was
hold up with that
Berenstain.
one?
Everyone thought it was Berenstain, but in reality, it's Berenstain.
I think it's just how you pronounce it.
It
It's
is
spelled different.
but
It's spelled differently.
they would have spelled it when you're saying Berenstain, you spell it EIN,
Yeah.
but it's spelled AIN.
Huh. Yeah, I see the stain.
Yeah.
How about
that skid mark
how about the Monopoly Man? Well, what did you
with
guys?
the monocle? I definitely would have said monocle.
Me too.
Same.
I say without.
See,
I remember with monocle.
Okay, I got another one. Well, let's go with the ones we've said before or said in the episode already. Jif peanut butter was Jiffy in the past,
I
and then
believe
they
that too.
changed to Jif.
Yes. Yeah.
So that's not true though. They've always been Jif.
I
They were never Jiffy.
Don't you
remember it being Jiffy.
Don't you remember
and
being a
changing
kid?
to Jif?
Exactly. Do you remember as a kid, it changing a GIF, it got shortened, and they shortened the name of the
Because
peanut butter.
that was at the time when all logos and everything was becoming more modern, more
Yep,
simple.
Yep.
More streamlined.
Jif
yeah.
was never named Jiffy.
Yeah, no,
Yep.
I know, but
That's crazy. I could swear.
we
To
disagree.
be honest, that one out of all of them
That
is
gets
the
you
one
the
I-
most.
That's the one because I almost would.
I think it's just
Barring
everybody.
this conversation, I would like put my life on the line for that. That it
Yeah.
was Jiffy.
Everybody just goes ahead and adds on a Jiffy. You know,
I would die for the peanut butter.
Procter and Gamble bought
So would
Big
my dog.
Top peanut butter,
Yeah, that is true. The dog definitely would.
retooled the recipe, and
My-
eventually rebranded it as Jif.
My dog be going ham on some Jiffy. Bruh.
I'm gonna go ham on that dog.
Oh no, not Navy.
She's already pregnant.
Whoa!
Oh
what?
yeah.
I wasn't talking about. Oh,
Well,
jeez.
my dog is apparently. Anyways, so
That's
was,
depressing.
was never Jiffy.
Oh,
That's crazy.
man.
All right. Kit Dash Cat or no dash, just Kit Kat? Which one would you say it is?
Dash.
No dash.
I would say a dash.
Yep.
But I have no idea.
There's no dash ever. Just been Kit Kat.
I don't know being a dash person, but I never liked the Kit Kat.
Yeah.
I mean, there is all those commercials, but
I guess we did say Curious George's Tale.
Mm.
Who draws like a monkey, not like a ape,
Oh yeah,
but
Kit
a
Kat
monkey
does
without a
not
tail?
dash.
But
I never remembered it. I've never thought it having a tail.
Yeah, me either.
yeah, I'm
But
kind of on that side too. I guess
just
now
from
that I think
memory,
about it,
He didn't have a tail.
yeah. But a lot of people swore he did.
That's just because he's a monkey. He should have a tail.
Yeah.
But
actually,
apes don't
Yeah.
have tails.
But I
He's
don't
not
think he's
an ape.
supposed to be an ape.
No.
He's a chimp.
Yep.
Chimp's an ape.
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Chimps are apes.
Looney Tunes.
Yep,
It
that's
was
a big one.
spelled Looney Tunes
So
TOON
wait. Oh,
or Looney Tunes with a UNES.
I have a box set like when I was a kid, and it was 00, right?
Ethan,
What?
Looney Tunes?
Yeah, those are good shows.
No, no.
Huh?
How was it spelled?
how do you spell the
TOON?
tunes part?
Or TUNES.
Okay.
Just how anyone else would spell tunes.
I always thought it was also the TOON.
So we're 50-50 on that one. I would have spelled it TUNES, although I know that doesn't make sense
I
because
mean,
they're cartoons and there's nothing to do with music.
I would get them spelling it
TOO.
Yeah, I think that would be just fine.
Yeah,
A
well they
little play
didn't.
on words, you know.
I've got to find that box set because I'll break the
I
Mandela effect.
I promise you, you're gonna find that box set and it will be TUNES.
Don't say that to me, Nick.
One of the biggest ones is there's not even a comparison. They just say this movie does not exist. And it's the movie Shazam. And people thought that who was the actor again?
Sinbad.
Yeah, Sinbad was the main character, and he played a genie that give children wishes. And there's this whole story with their parents, and everyone believes the storyline 100%. Everyone agrees upon this storyline, agrees upon the actors, agrees that they watched this movie
Yeah,
as
I
a
gotta
kid.
look that one up, bro, because I could have swore on. And yeah, keep going. Sorry.
Uh, this they believe all of it, and then they grow up a little bit, try to look for it, and they realize it doesn't exist. Sinbad said he's never been in that movie, and that never happened ever. And people remember it 100%. The best excuse for it is that they think there was a movie in the 90s
Shaq.
with Shaq
Kazam.
called Kazam.
Yeah.
But people said that they knew about that movie, and in fact, when they saw that movie being advertised, they said, "What a stupid ripoff of Shazam." That's everyone's memory. That's a lot of people's memory of this movie existing, but technically it never did.
How awful.
All right, man. So
Ooh.
I'm on IMDb right now, and I could have swore that also did happen. They said we found Sinbad's Shazam genie movie.
Yeah, it's a. I think I watched and they made a little.
This is
little cutsy video.
IMDb.com.
Fine.
They got cast, they got directors, they got writers.
There's 3 people in the cast.
Oh yeah, this is
So-
a fake page. Then
Yeah.
it's got to be.
It's a.
It
it's
is.
a little tootsie, but
So you want to know something crazy? I've seen this before. I'm kind of looking it up because I don't want to just talk out of nowhere. So I saw this thing that the reason we have the Mandela effect is because people screwed with the God particles.
Mm.
Nope, it's a real thing. It is the Large Hadron Collider. It's an energy particle collider.
Yes, CERN.
CERN, yeah. And they messed with it between 1998 and 2008.
That they did.
And one of the things that they went into, I watched a video on it once, and it said that it could have caused little ripples. Now, I mean that sounds like science fiction, but I don't know. We're sitting here talking about people like whole like thousands, millions of people remembering something and it not being that way.
Like more than just a couple thousand.
Yeah,
I mean,
more
we're
than a
talking.
coincidence, especially that Shazam movie. That's
Well,
crazy.
all right. This is since we're getting into the actual thoughts of it. I think all the little random pop culture stuff is just common misrememberings. Like
I
Berenstain
think so too.
was always spelled Stain, but then people just started pronouncing it Steen,
It's yeah.
and then other people started writing it in as STIN. Little things like that is super easy to happen commonly. I'm talking like several thousand people. That's nothing weird.
And these are all little.
Yeah, it's just tiny little pop culture
The
stuff.
plot of
makes
an entire
sense.
movie, though.
Yeah, no,
Like it makes sense why Looney Tunes would be spelled with two O's. It makes sense there would be
right.
Dash and Kit Kat.
Yes, exactly. So
It
people
makes
just
sense that
assume.
that you would forget the monocle in the Monopoly guy, or that he
Yeah.
would have one.
Those are the smaller examples,
But
but the
Nelson
ones of
Mandela's death is kind of wild.
the one of like people saying that they watch this on the news, they go to work, and they talk with their coworkers about it. And everyone's like, "Oh man, yeah, that sucks."
Yeah.
And then years later, they realize that that didn't happen. Those are the stories that are the most interesting because it's not one guy; it's millions of people saying that they experienced this event. That's the one that's most those kind of events, not the little word changes. I mean, they're interesting, but yeah, those events are very interesting. But yeah, let's go into then common theories of what causes that.
I'm telling you, Into the Spider Verse was calling it as it was. Collider,
Yeah.
mess with stuff. It's nothing crazy, right? Like it's not like all of a sudden,
Well,
oh, we actually have three lungs. We thought we had two, but we actually have three. It's nothing like that. But
I
it's
think
just these little, really insignificant things, right? I mean, no one's going crazy or losing their life because something's spelled a slightly different way. You know, it's like these little small things. But it could also be what you're saying, where it's just like mass misremembrance.
I mean that's what I think all the little pop culture ones are. Those don't mean anything to me. Um, but CERN is a real group or company. I think they were started by German scientists when after World War II, they were always working on really weird stuff, and it just kind of branched off into that.
Leave it to the
And
Germans.
yeah, exactly. And then they just were scientists working on stuff after that. And apparently, I think you can look this up. There was like a hole or a rip in the Earth's magnetic field for like 14 hours because they were testing stuff. Like I'd have to look this up because I just was listening to it on a podcast, and it's I mean that's pretty weird. Like the Earth's magnetic field.
That's a
That's very weird.
powerful force, and for us to be able to disrupt it, that's crazy. I
That's
mean,
very interesting. Uh, very similar to that, like this the most basic kind of it's obviously one of the more wild ideas, but it's the idea of like kind of the multiverse that time does not travel the way we think it does, and that there can be ripples or breaks into the time line, our dimension, and it leaks information from other dimensions, other timelines going on at the same time. So some people did experience this event or did see it that way, and then they're just kind of fluid going back and forth, and history's not actually as you see it.
they say that's what deja vu is.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah,
Same
for
same
many
idea.
things like that is a common theoretical thing they'll say. Possibly, it could be. Um, did you find what that was?
Yeah, I mean it is something that happens. Recent satellite observations have revealed the largest breach yet seen in the magnetic field that protects Earth from most of the sun's violent blasts. Scientists have long known that the Earth's magnetic field, which guards against severe space weather, so this is a protective field around the Earth that also, I mean, the magnetic field helps with, compasses, obviously, and direction. But its main purpose is to protect us from things like, stuff from the sun.
Solar radiation.
Yeah, so when these breaches happen, you get like solar magnetic storms. Apparently, they're awesome to witness. So it is something that happens, and it's most likely because of, I would assume. So you can actually take this as fact
Yeah,
from tests and scientists and humans that are actually testing things that are very powerful.
yeah,
Because
that's
I
very
don't, I don't
interesting.
think the Earth's magnetic field was meant to be breached.
No,
Yeah, no.
I don't think so
I
either.
think it was created for a
Isn't that
purpose.
isn't that what aurora borealis is? Is that stuff scraping up against the
Yeah,
magnetic field, basically?
yeah, but it's not. That's not like
It's not coming
dangerous.
through.
Yeah,
It's pushing. Like
yeah.
that's
You're seeing
its
it.
job.
So if you
Yeah.
have a breach, then you're gonna get like crazy storm
That's
that just
crazy.
probably looks awesome, but is
Yeah.
probably pretty dangerous.
You wouldn't want to be getting hit by solar radiation.
Another classic one, which the whole idea of the Matrix. Yeah, not to spoil the well-known movies, but some people believe that
Didn't you draft that movie?
I did. I did. It's a great movie. But not to spoil it, people think that we might actually live in a simulation, and that all these things are because of glitches in this matrix, this simulation, a virtual reality. What do you guys think about that? That little random idea.
Well, I mean, what is a virtual reality?
Uh,
I mean, it's a reality created by something higher,
We're in a pod and we have
right?
these robots sucking the life force out of us while they make our brains think we're living in the real world.
That's one interpretation of it.
yeah, that 100%.
Why would they even to totally just destroy that whole movie? Why would they even make the brains like think of anything? Why not just make them brain dead but still able to?
Because that's how they get the energy. Their brain has to be active.
Oh, loopholes.
Little
Loopholes. Yeah.
Got to be an answer for everything. All
I
right.
think my favorite part, like plot point in that movie, is when he says the first Matrix they created was like a paradise. It was perfect, but their brains rejected it because they were like, "There's no way this is real." Like they could tell it wasn't.
Ah,
So then they had to make it like the real world where things are kind of crappy half the time. And that was the only
mm,
way they'd accept it.
mm. Now you're speaking my
Philosophy, boys.
language.
Now
Shout out Drake.
I I I was doing research on this and I found something about just memory and how memory works, and it kind of blew my mind as far as how to view all this stuff of just how absolutely susceptible our memory is. It's actually to not be trusted at all. You can the way you think about things is very interesting.
Especially until males turn like 25, which is like proven studies.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, the male, brains don't fully mature until 25.
Yeah, that's true.
So think
Yeah, there's
about
that.
when you're like 5 years old,
That's true. Yeah.
your memory will
I think a
greatly
lot of these well,
deceive
the
you.
problem with like Mandela Effect, most of I think a lot of the stories are adults going to work and they saw this on the news.
Or it could be kids.
Could be kids 100%. Oh, it's both, but I'm saying like it could be adults too. But I saw that uh the way it works is if you, for example, remember that you went to some event and you can remember the food you ate and you remember exactly what you did, who was there, you have all these memories of it. But every time you think about it again, you almost like
It
over
distorts a little.
distorts a little bit. You overwrite it slightly. You add little artifacts to it. So if you were in the moment that you remembered this memory, you're thinking about this memory, you're talking about this memory, what you're doing in that moment, if you were eating certain kind of food, you're hanging out with certain friends, when you think about that again, that memory is adding artifacts to the original
It's a
memory.
little less real
A little
each
less. Every
time you
time you think
remember it.
about it, you are adding things to it, and it is less true than the original memory.
Yep.
And I didn't know that's how it worked. It blew my mind.
Well, you're remembering the memory.
Of remembering.
Yeah,
Of
and
remembering.
it's like
Of remembering.
it's like a photocopy or
100%.
something.
And
It
each
just
time it gets a
keeps
little bit
different.
less.
Yeah, a little less. Yeah.
And something that's super interesting about it, you guys ever heard of Darren Brown?
No.
He is a
Who is Darren?
Darren is a mentalist. And it's kind of a little bit like a magician, but he calls himself a mentalist because supposedly he says everything he does is based on just psychological
Fortunate.
playing with someone and making them think things that are not real. And you can watch this video. The one that's really popular and it's very interesting is he actually does it with Simon Pegg, which is that actor, the British
Oh
actor.
yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, most people know him. Uh, his people reached out to him and said, get a piece of paper, write down on it, if when you were a child, something you would love to have, a dream childhood gift, and write that down, put it in an envelope, seal it, date it, keep it on your person. Don't let anyone have it. Don't tell anyone it's in it. And then 2 days from now, go and see Darren Brown and see if you can guess the gift that you wrote down. So Simon Pegg does it. He writes it, and he goes uh, to see Darren Brown. And Darren Brown has the place that he's going to visit. Kind of some things in the room a little bit different, interesting decorations. And as he's talking to him, he'll be looking him in the eye. He'll do little touches on his shoulders at different times and grab his arm randomly. And he'll say the words in a kind of interesting way. He's tapping a little bit. And Then at the end, he goes, "What gift would you want as a child?" And he says, "I want nothing more than a BMX bike. That's what I want." So, all right, well, there's the box over the gift. Do you want to go look at it? And opens up the box, and it's a BMX bike. Before that, he's like, "What color would it be?" And he's like, "Red." Opens the box, a red BMX bike. Then he says, "Open the note on what your favorite childhood gift would be," and it was a leather jacket. He convinced him through things in the room and talking and just playing with the mind subconsciously. He fully was convinced. He had written down BMX bike. And he asked him over and over, he's like, "Are you sure you wrote down BMX bike?" "Yes." He does that all the time, all these different things. And it's all based on
That's not where I thought it was going at all.
Yeah. You could be manipulated memory wise so it seems easily. I mean he's extremely skilled, but that's real. You can 2 days completely replace a memory.
Nah, he ain't doing that to me.
I that's what Simon Pegg said. He was like,
Nick's like,
Simon Pegg, I'm gonna prove this guy wrong.
Nah, I'm beating a bear in a fight.
Yeah. I'll run it. A whole pack of coyotes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nah. Darren Brown ain't changing my memories. No, I wouldn't even. The thing is, you wouldn't even really know what you would have wanted as a kid. So you think now, what would I want? And then that can easily change with some
sure.
tours.
But how about 2 days?
Yeah.
You know what you wrote down.
Yeah.
How 2 days later you said that he walked in there obviously knowing what he was thinking. But if you
That's
at the end it shows you should watch the video. Just look up Darren Brown with Simon Pegg. Watch this video. He has in the room lots of decorations of 2 circles or circles moving.
It's called
And when
seeding.
Yeah.
He was seeding.
And what's it called? Proofing. They call it actually proofing. That he's doing little small things to get him prepared, and then he was saying like he would pronounce the word "buy" as "bike," but they're British, so it sounds more closer to it. And he's doing weird things. It's insane how it worked, but it's 100% true. You can actually do that. Your memory is just not to be trusted.
Well, I think something important to remember too. I'm not saying that he didn't do that to him, but I know 2 days isn't that long of time. But you really think Simon Pegg or anybody that did this is going to be sitting there every single minute or like every hour thinking about, I wrote down leather jacket. I wrote down leather. Like you're not. Like you're probably.
I bet you
It
he
might
did,
pop
though.
up in your head.
He probably, especially right before he went in there.
I was gonna say right before you
Right
be
before
like,
you
he's
might.
like,
you'd be like, I wrote down.
I wrote down leather jacket, and I don't know what he's gonna do, but that's what I did. But he goes in there with just
How long did you talk
distracting
to him?
It was like under a minute.
Wow.
I don't know, man. That
He walks in the room, and the
sounds
room is
fake.
themed. All these decorations too were red. A lot of them are red, and
I don't like that.
it was to make him think. And the brain does work that way. Like you can see things. You're like red. Oh, I'm thinking of red thoughts.
Like how Disney subliminal messages everyone. Subliminally
idea,
messages.
Yeah, the idea of something
and, like,
subliminal
cover
is
art
really strong.
And everything, yeah.
It's actually works. It's not fake. It actually does something to you mentally.
Well, you know, I don't know if they do it anymore, but they used to do that thing where they'd flash like a quick image of popcorn or like soda at the movie theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, well, you wouldn't even see it.
Popcorn.
Popcorn. Like,
Damn, I'm really hungering for some popcorn right now.
Why? Oh, what's wrong with Mac?
All right,
yeah, it would be just for one. I don't know the measurement for reels, like what you call like one little thing.
Popcorn.
But yeah, it would just be like a picture with flash. You wouldn't even see it.
One square in the
I think
camera
it's either
reel.
one frame or they do it even less than a
half.
But the human brain can't, if it's fat like.
No, you pick up on it.
That many frames per second though, like 60 FPS. Do you think you would pick up on a single one?
It sounds insane, but they saw that it worked, and that's why they kept doing it. It actually works. People,
we're all
not everybody.
So that is the Mandela effect. We're all being brain controlled. MK Ultra.
Actually, there's another one I saw.
We all just got gaslit into believing something.
I saw a study that was done on people, and they said that modern people, the way their brain works is way different than it used to.
It's got to be.
Because of the internet and technology.
Yeah.
If you have access, that your brain develops memories differently.
I mean, can
You
you
know how
imagine the kids now?
your
I mean, they said they're
grandfather-
watching the video when they got Subway Surfers playing underneath it.
Oh, yeah.
They can't. They're
How the most basic? Do you know the phone numbers in
Do
your
you know the Muffin
that you
Man?
need to remember? Yeah. The phone numbers you need to remember. Do you remember them?
No, of course not. But I
No.
know back in the day,
But your dad does.
had like 50 numbers in
Especially,
his
yeah.
head.
I remember
They
a
remember everything.
few.
Yeah, I know a few, but
I don't know a single one, and there's a lot of people that don't know either. Yeah. And
I don't
You don't know
I
your
see
wife's
someone.
phone number?
No.
Oh my
I'm one of the rare
goodness.
people I have horrible memory.
You don't know your wife's phone number off the top of your head.
No.
Do you know your social security number?
Sometimes I have to like
He
refresh it in my
definitely
mind.
Are you
No, that's a
serious?
no.
No, if they ask me,
I
I
remember
have to sit
that.
there and have to go, okay. I have to rethink
Do you
it.
know your own
Oh,
phone
okay.
number?
Yes, I know my own phone number.
Is that the only one?
Only the case upon
The case.
repetition, which is why people. That's why our dads know how to do it, or our moms. They had to constantly go, "What number is this?" and type it in, and they had to remember and do it, and then that's why they remembered.
No.
I never have to
I'm
remember
not
my
with.
wife's
I'm
number.
not with you on this one.
Because it's in my phone, so I don't have to remember it. Some people do, just like some people can remember all the lyrics and plenty of songs. I don't do that either. So people are different, but as a whole, as a society,
I think
people
I
don't
don't
remember
think
it as
I don't
well.
think it's fair you say as a whole as a society when you can't remember a single phone number.
I'm not saying can't remember any. I'm saying we don't remember the same way people used to. Because do you remember all your numbers?
Well, it's
What's
because
your
we
mom's
don't.
number?
Well, no, it's because we don't
What's your
try.
dad's
It's
number?
not that our
I
brains
do know
don't
my
have
dad's
the
number.
capacity to do it. It's just that we don't have a need for
I
it.
know my
Which
dad's.
makes us not able to as well as before. We don't.
I
fit the
know
same-
my dad's cell phone number.
I know.
Of
I
your
know.
mom's.
I know both my parents' cell phone numbers.
I do know my mom's. It would take me a second. I'd have to. It couldn't be in the middle of the podcast, but I would get there.
Okay, yeah. Your friends, your
No,
neighbors that you can
no,
talk to.
don't know my friends.
See that's what your parents used to exist. They knew
Yeah, they were forced to though.
exactly.
If you're forced to remember, you will.
No, that's literally all it is. It's just
Yeah.
forcing to. Since we are not.
You're acting like you can.
Oh, I can't. No. Yeah. Well, just because I'm never forced to. I always have access.
That's what I'm saying.
You're
Though. It's
social?
not that you don't have the capacity
No,
to.
I
You
just have a
don't.
bad. I do know it.
That's the
Yeah,
one
I
that's
do know it right
blowing
now.
my mind. Is the
I do know it.
social?
No.
Do you got?
Sometimes
wait.
they'll mention. I'll go.
You know your social,
What
Ethan?
is it?
Zach? All right, what is it? No, I'm just kidding.
Also, what's the silly numbers in the back of your credit card?
Man, it's trying to pull a Darren Brown on me over here.
Yeah.
So what's your social security again? So it's social security.
What's that expiration date on that card?
Yeah. Our I will say I don't think our memory's worse because if you force yourself to remember stuff, you can do it. As a human, you can memorize a lot.
Don't you think without use
It's our
it gets weaker?
attention span.
Yeah, so doesn't it get weaker without use? Just
No.
like attention?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If
Attention,
we
you need a
force ourselves
muscle.
to do it, we could.
If we did, yeah.
It's
but-
not like we've been devolving that in
no,
that
no,
that
no,
way.
no. We just
We just
don't have to.
Yeah, so we don't.
So we don't. That's
Yeah.
why even greater generations behind our parents forget even technology, just basic stuff. Our great grandparents knew how to do it easy, and they know how to do it great. And we don't because we don't have to. You just don't have to. Ease of life, ease of technology, industrialization. You don't have to do it anymore.
Leave in the comments if you know your mom's phone number, your dad's phone number, and your social. If you remember all three,
Drop them in the.
leave it in the yeah. Go ahead, type them out,
Drop your mom's number in the comments.
please.
And then
I'm-
drop your age, your
Sex, your location.
Yeah.
20
Male.
Miami female.
Oh, yes.
Man, shout out to boy Ryan.
Man, yeah. Oh,
That's one of the
Ryan.
funniest jokes we've had on here. I forgot about that one.
yeah, that was great. Sex, yes. Oh man, but why is he not? We gotta have him back. What's he doing right now?
Hey, how about you text your brother-in-law, Ethan? Jeez.
Yeah.
I talk to him quite frequently.
I know. we all do in the group chat.
Yeah, we did talk to him. Nice guy. You guys should get to know him.
Formal invitation to
Yeah.
invite Ryan back on the podcast because he
Formal.
didn't even have a mic last time. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he was like episode what, like
two,
3.
three?
Thought it was 3.
it was
Well, there was the fake one that never got released.
Oh, so maybe it was.
So technically 2, I think.
that's for the Patreon members.
Yeah. Oh, Phaedra. We should do that. That'd be great.
Yeah, send me a check. Get it.
Yeah, we can't,
Still have.
Jot down them socials, and you can get the
can't do
lost
ads
episode.
anymore.
Yeah, I still have it.
Leave your socials in the comments. We will add you to the Patreon.
Yep. And your credit card so we can, initiate it for you. Don't worry about it.
Right. We
Yeah.
do gotta turn on that recurring subscription.
Yep. So yeah, I have a question for you guys then.
Oh,
Shoot.
still
If-
going.
It's still going, yeah. And it's actually about the same subject. Is, all these people are believing something, and let's just say most people around them say, "What are you talking about? No, that never happened." They look it up. They're like, no, that never happened. How do you keep going believing it? Do you actually believe in yourself that much? Or do you eventually just go, yeah, I'm 100% wrong, and I'm just going to believe what everyone else says?
It depends on what it is.
If I'm proven wrong, I'll believe I'm wrong.
I wouldn't go off of someone telling me that I was wrong. I would look into it myself, and if I found out that I was wrong the entire time,
That's what he's saying.
I would still, though, in the back of my head, I'd be like, "That's weird," because I could have sworn it was that. And in the case of these Mandela
So
Effect
you wouldn't let it go
things,
then?
I wouldn't.
You would say
I
unexplained,
I would
and you'd go,
accept that it. Okay, it says it's been Jif, like say Jif and Jiffy, right? I will accept that it's been Jif the entire time. I will also acknowledge the fact that I could have sworn, along with who knows how many other people, that it was Jiffy. I'm more interested to why that is, more so than saying there's some big conspiracy. Like, forget the collider, forget the whatever. I just, why is that specifically that?
Yeah.
Or whatever the thing is. But no, I won't be sitting there like, oh no, it was definitely Jiffy, and they're lying to me, the Matrix. I'm not going to do that. But
Big Pharma.
another real one
Big
too
gumbo.
that people talk about a lot is actual like history being changed, like actually by the winners.
Oh yeah, that's a whole
real.
different
Yeah.
that's a whole different episode that we will be doing.
Oh, yeah.
Tataria, anyone?
Oh, Tataria.
Yeah,
I don't know anything about that.
exactly.
I got some research.
No, well, history could easily be changed.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, they
Like as
say
far as history books go and everything.
the winners of wars write history.
Exactly.
So, and it's whatever they
Yeah.
deem. That's why
It's media.
you have
but
China
just
and
in the
Japan
past.
who are basically right next to each other. And if you read either of their yearbooks,
Yeah.
I mean not yearbooks,
History
their textbooks, but their history, other history, the world's history,
Yeah.
so unbelievably different.
Let's read France's history on Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see what they have to say about him.
It's
he was probably awesome.
Yeah, history's rewriting 100%
But to us,
happens.
he's a short man, little man syndrome.
Or the Soviet Union, Lenin.
Oh, boy.
They didn't have Photoshop yet. He literally had people change photos and re-release them and tell people that other photos are fake. Prove
Yeah.
his own thing.
Who?
Constantly. Lenin?
John?
Not John. Yeah, for the Soviet Union. Well, there's a picture of him with other people, but they were people he didn't like. And so he had him removed later on when these people pretty much turned away from him.
I have seen that photo. Yeah.
The photos of people in the streets with signs, and there's signs over doors and everything, changed to be in support of him. But in reality, these photos were against him.
Or the fact that you go through school thinking, public school in America, thinking that the United States won every war they were in.
Okay.
I mean, I know I
It was
did.
pretty generally accepted that we did not win Vietnam.
They don't teach you that.
Do they just not say it, or do they say we won?
They don't teach you it.
Oh.
That it was awful.
It's definitely kind of like avoided. I mean, in the end, it's like there's no winners in that
it's
war.
definitely avoided. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no matter what country you're in, history is whatever the people that are providing this, what they want you to learn.
Guys, we're dancing around the elephant in the room of this subject. North Korea. Can you? I would love to get my hands on a North Korean history book. Can you imagine what crazy tall tales that man has spun about the world and the history?
Yeah. It is the fact that like memories and history can easily be changed.
Yeah. So I mean, that is real, like actual real events being changed. You're like, pretty sure that happened. No, you're an idiot, and don't ever say it again. But in reality, it did actually happen.
Get out of my country.
And oh man, yeah, because then it kind of goes into like a lot of these tests were done where they have 14 people in a room, and there's one person in the room they've not talked to, and all 14 people they go, just so you know, obviously these are two different straws. One's short, one's long, but you're gonna say they're the exact same. So 14 people say it. One guy is not told this. And they go into a room and they're like, look at these straws. What's the difference? Is there a difference? Tell me what it is. Every single person in the room goes, exact same, no difference. Kind of scarily fast in all these tests, the one person out agrees.
I think they're just betas.
Well, it's
Agreed.
the group thought.
Yeah, it's
Communal thought
yeah.
is very strong with people. So you are more
Very,
likely
it's
just
very
to follow the
strong
crowd.
in this one.
Very strong
mentality.
yeah, follow the crowd. Don't stand out, and so you just eventually agree. So that's why sometimes those history rewritings work because they just a lot of people tell you no, and you go okay. So that's what makes people with the Mandela effect go, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna accept it. But are you right for thinking that? I don't know.
I don't think it's some mass, what's his face, Darren Brown mental manipulation. I mean, it could be, but I mean,
The point is, I thought Pikachu's tail ended with black, and if I go back and watch 90s cartoons of
It's gonna be
Pokemon
yellow.
and it's all yellow, I'm going to believe that I was wrong.
Okay, beta. Okay, so okay then.
Oh,
Let's go on
they
road though.
switched them all out in 2011. I remember.
All right, everyone say your actual belief in what you think it is if you had a guess.
The Mandela effect?
Yeah. What do you actually think it is then? What's your
I
guess?
mean, you already said it. It's the human memory being very malleable and like full of error.
So you don't think the time streams are slipping up?
I
You don't think it's
I do not
fracturing?
believe so, my brother.
I don't think it's time streams, but it is I mean, something that actually is there is that collider. Do I think it's
Okay.
that? Probably not.
Okay.
But that's more. That's to me. That's more likely than some multiverse thing because that's actually there and proven that they've screwed with certain things that.
Strongest case in this one is Nelson Mandela's death. I just think it was everyone finding out he had tuberculosis and was on his deathbed. But
And
then he made a recovery.
and they just didn't catch that part.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Well, or it just happened right away. They were like, "Oh, Nelson Mandela has tuberculosis. He's about to die." Oh, everyone mourning. Everyone's super sad about it. A few weeks later, he ends up making a full recovery. They don't report that much about it, and everyone goes about their life. And then 5 years later, 10 years later, they're like, "Oh man, I thought he died."
So just you think it's the memory sucks and it can be manipulated.
I got
Yes,
one
sir.
for you though. This one's not really like the others because I think we can all agree this one's real. But still, the way they phased it out. I'm talking about the SpongeBob episode. Yep, I'm going back to SpongeBob, where Squidward breaks into the Krusty Krab. In
And
the
he eats all
original,
the Krabby Patties.
yes, but in the original episode, he walks in and a bucket spills on the floor. And he's like, "What's that?" And then a match drops and it blows up because it was gas. And then he makes it into the back, and it happens again, blows up, and then he finally gets to the patty vault. Then, a few years later, they edited it to where he walks in, and then there's just a scene of it exploding, and then him coming into the Krabby Vault. And then later, they finally edit it to where he looks in at the window, peers in, and then boom, it just goes to the scene of him walking up to it. Completely cut out that part. I guess because they didn't want kids thinking, oh, matching gas together, you know? But that was a
you
real
can look it up
thing.
though and actually see the original. Is what you're saying?
Yeah.
You can see that happen.
So you can find proof.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, I guess
E.T.
I haven't tried.
Do you guys know about E.T.?
You like Krabby Patties, don't
Don't
you,
you,
Squidward?
I don't.
In the original E.T., all the cops are holding guns and shotguns.
Oh yeah, they took that out.
They edited out that all the cops are
I do
holding
know that.
walkie-talkies.
Yep, I knew that.
Yep.
That's lame.
Very interesting. I don't. I guess I couldn't remember. So that's again the memories. Like
I thought you were gonna say I don't agree with that.
I don't agree with that. Come on, let them have the guns in
Well,
the movie.
well,
They should.
what's weird is
honestly.
police officers do have guns.
Yeah, so I don't really get
so-
I don't really get his also to go back and like redo your movie. Well, just actually, he did regret that. Years
All right,
later,
Steven,
he said
come on now.
He regretted it and said I should never have edited my original movie.
Nelson
George
Mandela's granddaughter
Lucas.
died.
No.
Oh
3 weeks ago.
wow.
Oh, 3 weeks. How old was she?
43.
What happened to her?
Cancer.
It's gonna
Man.
come out 5 years later. She's alive, never died.
See, we're getting that cancer from the collider.
Timestamp.
Opening up the.
Steven Spielberg, why?
I could have had them having guns, and now I
How would you
walkie-talkies.
do this to me?
You've ruined it.
Jeez. And her daughter died when she was 13.
What the?
Not good to have a last name Mandela.
Well, Nelson lived to be very old.
Yeah, he was it 83?
And lived past TB.
Yeah, man.
And
Hey,
became the president of South Africa.
my-
Very good.
Wait, he thought of that. Because, like, okay, when did people think you said it was like late 90s when people thought he was dead?
no. Yeah, yes.
Early
I remember
90s.
it being-
Early 90s.
But
And
people-
then he became the president in like 94 of South Africa.
But still, early 2000s, people thought he was dead, right?
Yeah. And he was still very well
So
alive.
just imagine that. Like, you're a public figure. But, like, you catch wind
You
that
go
2
out
decades later that
walking
people
on the
thought you were
street.
dead.
It's Nelson Mandela. And you're just like, hello.
Hi.
I'm president.
What's up?
I was. His term ended in 99.
Am president.
Well, this has been a very fun discussion, brothers.
Very fun.
The Mandela Effect, what do you think about it? And I want to know, like, what you
Other
have
ones.
experienced yourselves. Like, do you agree with us that Pikachu had a tail that ended with black? You know, I want to know what the listeners also
Yep.
think.
Also, if you like this, do you like us talking about a subject? Let us know.
Hello, dear listeners. What did you think of this episode? The boys tried something a little different. They discussed the Mandela Effect and shared their own opinions. Very interesting indeed. Have you experienced a symptom of this effect? Do you remember things that your family or friends say didn't happen? I once thought Abraham Lincoln was assassinated in a theatre. Boy, was I shocked to learn how wrong I was. An uneasy feeling indeed. Thankfully, the boys broke this down to its basics. You learned and were inspired. Let us know if you enjoyed this episode. And if so, we will continue exploring the unknowns and sharing our undoubtedly wise opinions. How these boys can have the knowledge of the ages and the voices of kings, I will never know. We thank you for listening. I love you, the boys love you, and Papa loves you. Good night, my loves.